I'll call this July meeting of the Town Board to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Clerk Dropka, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Blau.
Present.
Trustee Clark.
Present.
Supervisor Wilt.
Here.
Let the record note that Clerk Dropka is in attendance and Trustee Heilenbach and Trustee Carroll are absent.
Thank you very much. We have in our packets the minutes of the June 8th board meeting. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the Wednesday, June 8th board meeting.
Do I hear a second? Oh, you weren't here. I will second that.
Okay.
Thank you. No, that's quite all right. I forgot that you weren't present.
And you can.
So, very well, we have a motion by Trustee Clark, seconded by Supervisor Wilt, to approve the minutes of the June 8th Board of Trustees meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, then all in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. We will need you on votes because we need a quorum, so.
I understand.
Okay, thank you, but it made sense. All right.
I was
Are there-
advised that I could vote on that
Yeah.
by our legal counsel.
Yeah, a lot of people abstain if they weren't present for the meeting,
Right.
but you don't have to. You can vote.
Okay.
It is appropriate to vote on it, but.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Clerk Dropka, do you have any communications?
I do. We received a note from the Riverside Junior Women's Charity along with $500 for supporting the food pantry. And then we received a invitation from Aging Care Connections for their sports ball to be held on September 9th in Lombard.
Okay, thank you very much. There's that, if anybody's interested in that sports ball, I know that the Mental Health Board usually supports those activities, but if any of you are interested, the information is here, and we thank the Junior Women's Board for their contribution to the food pantry. That's always a nice gift. Are there any public comments? Anyone who would like to address the board? No. Okay. Thank you, and I know that normally the assessor attends, but they are in the midst of appeals period, so I know that they're working extra long and hard hours. The Supervisors Report. Well, I have a few things here. This has been a month of surprises in the town hall. The June 13th storm in the area took out a closet window on the second floor where the village's antenna threw a circuit board through it when their antenna came down. The village is taking care of it, and we did not seem to have any other storm damage. With so many trees down and many people without electricity, the town hall was open as a cooling center due to the extreme heat that week as well. I only saw one person come in to camp out during the day and use this really more as a phone charging station than anything else. The primary election day seemed busier at the town hall than election results would suggest, but there were no incidents. Voting boxes were finally retrieved this past Monday on the 11th. We had a partial power issue on the third floor last week due to in part to a failed neutral bar. That was repaired, but we were told the wiring is old, what a surprise, and likely to have more issues in the near future. So after that outage, the air conditioning in the third floor in room 30 wouldn't work, and a service call indicated the compressor is blown. So replacing just the compressor was quoted at $6,000 and would take 6 weeks for parts. And Riverside Plumbing is currently researching the cost of a new unit and the current unit is just under 10 years old. The heat that displaced the bridge players last week and this week, of course, that brought them into this room. And then, of course, last Friday, due to a camp event in the auditorium, the exercise class, which had been getting a lot of participants, was supposed to be split with 2 instructors, one in room 30 and one in room 22, and we couldn't use 30 because it was like hot yoga in there. So fortunately, we didn't have a very large group show up that day because they all had to go to room 22 and the hallway around it. So interesting things going on. The assessor's office also just informed us that their air conditioning unit is spewing black bits, so a service call is ordered on that as well. There's been an issue with the lawn sprinklers that our custodian has not been able to clear, so we're waiting for service on that. The security camera installation has been going on without incident this week, and in the process, however, we found out why one of the old cameras had not been working. Seems that critters chewed on some of the wires. So hopefully those are no longer active since we've had regular service in that matter in the building. We finally connected with AT&T for a hardware solution to both our fax machine and the elevator, which needs a phone connection other than the VoIP, which we normally use. And they have the equipment we need since our old provider is leaving that part of the business. We ordered the equipment, and I signed a service agreement for 3 years, which was the most economical option, and we are waiting for them to schedule installation, and we will be working with the village's fire department, fire prevention service, to make sure that the elevator phone properly goes to the dispatch center. The bridge coating project bids that were due on June 22nd once again brought no bidders. I've asked the architect to let me know how we can break down the project into essential repairs and aesthetically coating it with the least disturbance of potential lead issues. We connected by phone this afternoon, and he will prepare a proposal for new bid documents separating the structural repairs, and those were relatively minor, and reducing the coating project to only doing scraping of the rust on the bare metal. And then we'll have to accept that it will need more frequent painting. He also indicated that one of the companies that had requested more information on this last bid package is one that they have worked with before, and he's going to reach out to see why they didn't follow through with a bid after requesting information on the project. I also asked that he inquire whether a reduced scope project might get them to bid. The food pantry, farmers market vouchers are being steadily redeemed with about a 35% utilization as of last week. Today's redemptions have not yet been analyzed. Each week, as there are more items to select from, the redemption goes up a bit. For the food pantry, we've been getting a lot of recent donations of things like toiletries, large-size food packages, and other items that we cannot put into individual bags. Things like a 20-pound bag of rice, nutritional supplements, baby items, and Costco-sized oatmeal boxes don't work for our pre-packed bags, so we have been leaving items like that out for people to take if they need them, but it was getting pretty disorganized in room 3. So that table was always cluttered, so I purchased a small shelving unit that you'll find in the warrants this time to hold these items in a more organized way. Each shelf is labeled, and hopefully that will work a little better. I've had several new inquiries for general assistance and emergency assistance, and the current approved flat grants are at 9 people per month. There have been some inquiries that never followed through. There is a new law that was passed in Illinois that will require local governments, and specifically townships, to create a committee to study their efficiency and increase accountability. We have until next June to form the committee, and I've received information about it both from township officials of Illinois and from our legal counsel. Such committees will have to prepare a report within 18 months, and then they are dissolved, and such a committee must be appointed every 10 years. I know that the committee will be composed of the entire governing board plus at least 2 residents and may include additional members. There's no compensation for that committee, but expenses of performing the duties per the law can be reimbursed by the government body. Toy plans to come out with more clarifications, and this will be on a future agenda for us to actually form that committee. Speaking of the Township officials of Illinois, I want to remind you all that early bird registration discount is good until August 1st, so if any of you plan to attend the annual conference in Springfield, November 13th to the 15th, please be cognizant of that for a small discount. And that is all I have to report today. I'd be glad to answer any questions that any of you may have.
Well, you definitely have had your hands.
It's been a little bit busy.
full moon.
The full moon, yes. It's always something, right? It's like having an old house. It's the same thing with the town hall. Okay, we are down to trustees' reports. Trustee Clark, do you have anything for us?
I really don't.
Okay. Trustee Blau?
No.
Nothing, thank you. Thank you, Trustee Clark, for being part of the 4th of July. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it that day, but I think that all went pretty well, too.
I think it went real well.
Yeah, everybody, again, was happy with beads, and we got a lot of good shout-outs, I know, during the parade as well. So it always feels good. Trustee Heilenbach did present, your folders have all of the information from the last meeting, and now they're on a summer break from the Mental Health Board, and there is a new roster of members of that board and their contact information and their core charities as well, or core agencies, I should say. So that is for your information. And we are on to the report of the swinging bridge. As I said, I had hoped that tonight I would have some nice decisions to be made. Besides not yet having any bidders, we also have not yet heard on the Build Cook County, is it? Invest in Cook, the grant that I applied for. So I know that they're starting to contact entities that have been awarded a grant, but we don't have anything yet. And that's about it. I really don't know what to base any other grant applications on, since we are pretty much out of time from the last bids. And as I said, I have been emailing and leaving messages for the architect, and we finally connected today. And, he's going to work on a new proposal, but that's about a new bid description, but that's about all I think we can do at this point. If you have any other questions about that, I mean, I don't want the bridge to go another winter without at least a perfunctory coating. So he thought that it would be possible to just do, a overall paint with only scraping away at the bare metal, cleaning that, once we start messing with the rest of the paint, then we might have some issues, but that's about all I have to report.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, we may have that information. I told him that, I'd like to get on it quickly. So I think that perhaps the next committee of the whole, we might have something to actually discuss on that. And if I have a proposal, I might bring it to that, call it as a special meeting and bring it to that meeting, because as I've told you, I won't be at the August meeting, and I'd kind of like to be present for that discussion, if you don't mind.
good, so.
There being no other business, can we have someone, I can give you a cheat sheet, and here we go for the warrants.
Trustee Blau moves that the board authorize and ratify payment of the bills identified on the general warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $17,065.16 as presented to the board this 13th day of July 2022.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, motion by trustee Blau, seconded by trustee Clark, to approve the general warrants in the total amount of $17,065.16. Clerk Drapka, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Blau.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you.
Motion by trustee Blau that the board ratify and authorize payment of the amounts indicated on the following warrants. Utility warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $1,032.19. Payroll warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $23,204.95. Health warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $2,199.37. Grants warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $5,621 even. General assistance warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $5,748.91. Township radio players warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $670.33. And food pantry warrant for July 2022 in the amount of $1,251.99. All of the above as presented to the board this 13th day of July 2022.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by trustee Blau, seconded by trustee Clark, to approve the following warrants for July 2022. Utility warrant in the amount of $1,032.19. Payroll warrant in the amount of $23,204.95. Health warrant in the amount of $2,199.37. The grants warrant in the amount of $5,621 even. General assistance warrant in the amount of $5,748.91. Township radio players warrant in the amount of $670.33, and the food pantry warrant in the amount of $1,251.99. Are there any questions, comments to these warrants? Hearing none. Clerk Drapka, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Blau.
Yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. That's the extent of our,
Motion to adjourn?
and I will
Second.
accept that. I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Blau to adjourn this meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.